Hi, I'm really honored to be here at Collibra Data Citizens 2024 with Stijn Christians, co-founder and chief data citizen of Collibra. So Stijn, we've known each other for many years and we've seen kind of the rise of data governance. And I was reflecting that, like, on the one hand, we've got the risk component of it, where we started with Solvency II, BCBS 239, GDPR, CPRA, now the AI Act. And on the other hand, we've seen kind of the reward of getting value out of data, where we initially had BI, then we had data science and modeling and the modern data stack with the data pipelines and the analytical models. And now we have AI. So I was wondering how you see sort of the interplay of this risk and reward around data and where it's going.
Right. That's a big question, but I'll try to give a big answer. But first of all, Malcolm, thanks for doing this together. And of course, the honor is all mine. I've always been very respectful of your thorough analysis and your insights on the market. So the risk and the reward, because indeed, the original data profession, data officers, chief data officers, they came out of risk, especially in the large organizations. Whereas now you're seeing this pull from AI and a lot of people talking about AI governance. If I scrunch it all into one big thing, what I see is pressure on organizations to really turn the slogan, data is an asset, into execution. There is continued more and more pressure from the market to do that. So you have risk pressure with all the regulations you just mentioned, and that number keeps growing. There's the AI Act, for example, GDPR you mentioned, but we're tracking over 200 privacy regulations worldwide since then. And on the other hand, you have the technology driver, which is sort of creating a pull on organizations to treat their data as an asset. There's things like Internet of Things, there's things like digital transformation. But what you're seeing now happening at breakneck speed, I would argue, is that this disruption of AI. You have AI in the old AI, pre-November 2022 and post-November 2022. One was small and significant. The other one is just a tidal wave of demand for data to feed that AI beast.
How do you see it organizationally? We have a chief data officer. Is it going to be a chief AI officer, or how will that be handled? Will risk look after it, or what will happen?
I think that's a development nobody really knows, right? But you do see chief AI officer pop up. You do see the role maybe of the responsibility fall under the CIO. You see the CTO getting a budget to do something with AI. So whether it will actually be a new executive title like the chief data officer was, is still to be seen.
Right, but we still have all the basic issues of data still. And one thing that concerns me, to be honest, is we have a lot of emphasis traditionally on structured data.
That's right, yeah.
But unstructured data seems to be, again, just based on my experience, playing a larger role in at least Gen AI. So how do you see that?
Well, I think first of all that Gen AI is a new platform disruption that we're in front of. So it's the next, like the cloud kept us busy for a good 10 years.
Yeah.
Gen AI is also a new platform that's going to keep us busy. It's almost like conversational programming, right? Or a new user interface after the mobile and the desktop. So you have to see how everything changes, including the interaction with data. So that means that a lot more people will be able to deal with data a lot more. It's really lowering the barrier of that skill set. But exactly to your point, all analytics typically is done on structured data, data warehouses and all that stuff. And we also all know that structured data is maybe 5% of an organization's data landscape, where the file shares and the emails and whatnot, the unstructured data may be 95% of the data. So if you combine these two, you see that there's going to be a lot more activity in organizations around data because AI demands it, if you will. But you'll also see how people will try to use Gen AI itself to deal with that unstructured data and turn it into structured data so it fits into those analytical processes.
Yeah, I'd strongly agree with that. I think that in the projects that I've worked on with unstructured data, the value has always been when you turn it into structured data. But I think we also have been traditionally just working with structured data. That's kind of our prejudices. But unstructured data now will come in as well because we can. Yep. So we will see. So any closing thoughts and advice for people who are in the space?
Definitely, yes. So if you're in data right now, if you're a data leader right now, you know that garbage in, garbage out, AI needs data. I know you know this, but you should not make the assumption that the executives, CEOs, boards who see their kid play with GPTs, you should not know that they make that connection between AI investments and the requirements around data. It's on you, the data leaders, to make that connection constructively and collaboratively for them. Essentially, bring yourself into those projects, bring yourself into those budgets, because the AI governance opportunity in front of us, controlling that new paradigm, if you will, is probably the biggest opportunity for an organization and for your careers.
Well, thank you very much for that, and all the best.
Thank you, Malcolm. Bye-bye.
Bye.